What's up, John? Good morning.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey,
We're
great.
doing well. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most surprised, how surprised were you at the Laremy Tunsil trade news?
Well, I was very surprised because that's not something you had heard. And the big trade we were waiting for, wondering about, was more for Trey Hendrickson, right? Like that's the one, because he was available and you knew he would have filled a really big, hole for them. What I did know is that they seem to be intent on finding a left tackle. And there was disappointment when Ronnie Stanley returned to Baltimore. Whether or not they would have gotten him, who knows? But there was disappointment because I think that was a desire of theirs. So knowing that part, I'm not, I'm still surprised because didn't see that one coming. But you knew that there was a desire to fill that spot. For sure.
To me, John, it seems like kind of a no-brainer. It's obviously an upgrade. I mean, is he a perfect player? No. He's got blemishes. Most of them do. Is his character 100 out of 100? Maybe not. But the guy's been to, 5 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro team, potentially. Massive upgrade at the tackle position. What is your best guess as to why Houston let him move on?
It sounds like, first of all, he has 2 years left on his contract, and they're starting to get into a different age range. He'll be, 32, 33. And, I think they have a lot of other young guys coming up that they're going to need to pay around that time. So I think that definitely sounds like a big motivation for them to do this. So I think that was number one thing. And then, listen, then you can start to pick apart someone's game, right? And, you hear what if, his best days are behind him. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're 30, 31, 32, typically your best days are behind you in the NFL, right? The question is, what kind of level can you still play at? I think his, people I talk to think that he'll be good, right? And, but I do think a lot of it was contract related, to not just his, but his plus what they have coming up. And this was a chance to this was a chance to then maximize maybe the last time you can maximize his value.
John, do you think the fact that they have no 3rd, 4th, or 5th round pick currently, does that basically cement Peters moving off of either 29 or 61 to get more picks in the draft next month?
So for me, it would. The problem is, who knows? Because that's not something you can even really know until the draft, until you're sitting there at 26, 27, right? And who's available. I think a lot of people in those spots would like to move back, and the ideal situation is a team moves up to get a guy so they can get that 5th-year rookie contract control. But yes, could I see him looking to do that? Yes, for sure, because in this draft, when you hear and listen to people who know a lot more about it, that there's a lot of depth to it. I don't know that there's necessarily the high-end talent that there's been in the past, and maybe not the deep high-end talent, but there's a lot of depth in that range. So in the middle of the first, end of the first, into the 3rd round, I don't know that there's going to be always a great disparity in the level of player you're getting. So it would make sense to do that. And that's why I say, losing these picks, that's one thing, but is there a way to recoup some of them? And the answer is yes. And this would be one way. Whether or not they can pull it off will depend on other factors.